Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to Simple Politics. Today it has to be one of the special days. We have been listening to Bheki Cele. Hey, I have so much to say, to a point that I'm even like contemplating if I play some videos in between, or should I just do like a pure reaction, because I've got so much to talk about. First of all, just before we get right into it, I don't know if I've never listened. Okay, I have listened to Bheki Cele. Maybe I've always listened to Bheki Cele with a negative mind, or I've listened to him and maybe he was not saying the things that I wanted him to say. But today, why is Bheki Cele like spitting fire? And like, there's a question that I have just before we get right into it. Etubana, has the media made Bheki Cele to be this monster? And he's not necessarily as bad as we thought he is? That's the question I have. And that's the question I have, number one. Please answer that for me in the beginning. Is Bheki Cele not everything that we were told he is? Why? Or is it because he's saying things that we want him to say? He's on our side. Well, he's on General Mkhonazi's side. Like, okay, fine, hold it there. Another thing, ever since Bheki Cele started testifying, he's definitely on General Mkhonazi's side. He's confirming things that General Mkhonazi has said. He is debunking or not debunking, that's a bad word. He's like opposing and saying basically that Senzo Mchunu, Minister Senzo Mchunu, on things that he said, he lied, and he lied under oath. And one of the things that Minister Senzo Mchunu said, he said that he has never met Ket Matlala. He has never ever laid eyes on him. He said, I've never seen him with my naked eye. One thing about Minister Mchunu, he is calm as a cucumber. He said, I've never laid my naked eyes on him. Bheki Cele comes today. Hey, I Bheki Cele namhlanje. There's a saying in Xhosa that says, when they talk a lot, today, he's singing like a bird. Bheki Cele says, no. Senzo Mchunu knows exactly who Ket Matlala is. Because when I met Ket Matlala, mina as Bheki Cele, he told me that because he has got money and other things, Senzo Mchunu wanted Ket Matlala to fund him for the presidency. Now, this thing also comes into light because there was a period where, a few months where there was a conversation ukuthi Senzo Mchunu is going to be running for president. He is going to be the next president after Ramaphosa. And the reason he's becoming the president is because in order for people of KZN to vote, they are looking for Mnguni. There was a campaign that was starting to rise. And apparently Senzo Mchunu was kind of striking a deal with Ket Matlala for them to sponsor him so that he can be the president or the deputy president. Hey! Hi! Pofu Bheki Cele. He also says ukuthi, hi, mina I don't know Mukhotsi. I saw some people tweeting and saying Bheki Cele says he met Ket Matlala. I think he says he met him last year or the year before. Someone tweeted and said, if you think Bheki Cele is telling the truth, then you are not woke. I feel like Bheki Cele, I feel like, when I was listening to Senzo Mchunu, I could tell that he's lying, and I was irritated because I felt like he was lying about everything. One thing about Bheki Cele, if he is lying a lot to us, he's an experienced liar. Like, uthetha kamnandi, guys. He's believable. He's Hey! Yo, another thing that happened, please bear with me. That's why I was saying there's so much that I want to say, and I do want to insert some clips in between for the people that didn't watch. Another thing that happened which I have a question mark. While Bheki Cele was testifying, maybe 85% of his testimony was done already. And as I said, he was speaking, collaborating, everything. As Mkhwanazi says, saying Mkhwanazi is a good cop. Yes, he's spoken some things about me, but he's a good cop. Then he said also, Khumalo is good. Like he was speaking good. Khumalo was being framed. Same things that Mkhwanazi was saying. So, 85% of his evidence in Bheki Cele. A SMS comes in or a text comes in. This text says, Uguti, General Ndlela Mkhwanazi is withdrawing the allegations. Is withdrawing the allegations that Bheki Cele received money. Let me just see. Received the money from Vusimuzi Ket Matlala. Let me see who sent the money. Yeah, received the money from Vusimuzi Ket Matlala. Little because Bheki Cele spoke very, very, very well. Very, very, very well about General Mkhwanazi. Could it be that they reached an out of agreement? I'm just asking. Could it be? Because General Mkhwanazi is saying, no, he made a mistake. They found out that the bank account was not Bheki Cele's bank account. That doesn't quite make sense to me. I mean, I could be wrong. I mean, I don't have the information. I'm no one, but I don't know. I don't know, guys. You tell me, what do you think is happening there? Because Bheki Cele spoke very, very well and confirmed. Like, he literally made Mkhwanazi really look good. He gave us that confidence that Mkhwanazi was not lying. He gave us that confidence that Senzo Mchunu is lying. He's the one who's lying with Usbiya. You understand? He gave us that confidence. So, I mean, not that Bheki Cele is innocent, because he also says, but one thing about, I think I appreciate more about Bheki Cele, he's straightforward. Akaitsali into. As a result, he's finished with his thing with the senior counsel, because he's answering straightforward, simple answers, short answers, straightforward. If you ask him, did you sleep at Vusiket Matlala's house, he says yes 2 times. He doesn't wait for you to ask, but how many times, wara. He tells you yes 2 times. Another name that came up from Bheki Cele's house is Hongwani Memela, the nephew of Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, as I said, Bheki Cele is not a Father Christmas perfect, but yeah, he is straightforward, and I appreciate that about him. And as a result, we are mamelega manu Bheki Cele, and now I feel like my attitude towards him as well is like all of a sudden now he's like, he's not so bad. That's why I'm thinking to myself, have I ever given myself time to ever listen to Bheki Cele, or have I just always judged him? Was today the first time that I've ever listened to him? Because why is my attitude different towards him? Meaning that whatever that he was trying to do today, his PR, it worked. I can tell you that for free. Whatever you see today, definitely worked the PR. Like he has sort of cleared himself somehow in the public eye. Yeah, one. I don't know if that's a strategy, or he just came and he said, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. You tell me. Now, I want to play a clip for you, because we've had this conversation so many times. We've argued about this so many times ever since the announcement of General Ndlela Mkhwanazi. Does the minister have a right to disband the political task team? Right? And a lot of people kept saying, no, Senzo Mchunu did not break any rules. We heard yesterday, Julius Malema also pointed out how the political task team was established and why Minister Senzo Mchunu does not have a right to disband it alone, because it was not only formed by the Ministry of Police alone, but other ministries as well. The justice, the what, you know. So it's not only just the police. I'm using natural light and ilanga liyatshona. So Bheki Cele also speaks now. Remember, this is the police minister now as well. He says, well, no, he has no right. And he explains why he says that. That is the clip that I want to play for you, for the people that didn't watch. The full thing. I want to play that clip for you where he explains the minister has absolutely no right to disband, because this is how it was formed. So him disbanding it by himself, like, why would you do that? Where is that coming from? So let's play this clip quickly.
PKTT was established by the IMC under the leadership of the President, and therefore only the IMC could disestablish it. I have heard in these proceedings the submission that no IMC had been established under the 7th administration. I submit that this argument is incorrect. The IMC consists of ministries that form the multidisciplinary team, not the political incumbents, the ministers, who may change with each administration. The IMC, therefore, continued to exist even under the 7th administration. The Minister of Police, therefore, had to consult with the IMC that had established the PKTT before deciding to disband it. Any disestablishment of PKTT would also have to be done in consultation with the departments that form part of the steering committee of the IMC that had oversight over the PKTT. I can add to say there is also a JCPS cluster. If maybe it's not very clear with the with the existence, JCPS cluster, which Minister of Justice and Minister of Police are co-chairs. It could have been discussed there. Maybe if really it doesn't, it could have been, the clearance could have been sought from the President that there is this, what do I do, does it exist or not? But you cannot just one swallow that makes summer here. Which is a Minister of Police that does not take on board the rest of everybody that is there to talk about this thing. I'm not going to make a conclusion whether it's illegal. I'm not a lawyer, but procedurally, I do not agree with it. The way that it has come through, it should have reversed the same way back. That will be my argument.
We're going to go now to the Minister's Directive of 31 December. But just to round off on whether or not the PKTT is still in existence, you recall having I'm not sure whether you call it a discussion or just out of interest, that you spoke recently with the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development, and on her, as it were, job description, the PKTT was still one of the functions allocated to her as Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development.
Well, as you minister, you join, I think your officials will take you through. And it starts with maybe the handover from your predecessor. The time is short. It took me 2 hours with my successor. So there is a lot of things. But then you go to the officials of that department, and then they'll tell you the duties. It does, hearing from Minister Kubai, it still does come through as one of her jobs to be part of the IMC on this one. That would be my latest information.
So So that is what Bheki Cele says. And also another thing that he actually touched on that I think I want to touch on because I made notes. He says Uguti, he also found out that there was 23 special tasked special forces, like people that are highly trained from the police. There were 23 of them that were recruited by Ket Matlala. And also it goes to the fact that people, they are not paid. So of course, Ket Matlala, they are offering them more. And then he went on saying that there were 56 special task force that are hired by the taxi industry. So meaning that now the people that are supposed to protect us in the police that are highly trained, they lose hope and they end up leaving as well and going to other, like to be hired by forums like Ket Matlala because like they don't get paid enough. And I think that is a problem that we need to look at as South Africans, or maybe the president, or maybe the minister of police, I don't know, but that is a problem that needs to be looked at. Because also, if the country, if there's a budget of 1.1 million invested on one police officer to get that special training to be a special task force, and then once that training is done, after maybe 2 years, 3 years, or whenever, they leave to go work for private, which is Ket Matlala, that is a problem. That is a problem. And also, another thing, I think I'm going to do this on a separate video. I'm definitely going to do that on a separate video because Souls yesterday from the PA said, Uguti, the political task team does not add any value. Bheki Cele spoke like so clear. He drew such a nice picture for me where he was explaining Uguti, what has the political task team done, and how, what's the importance of them in KZN, and specifically what have they done. And also one thing about Bheki Cele as well, he also answered the question of Uguti, who has the right to disband the political task team? When is the end of the period? I think these are the questions that we've been arguing about as well. So I'm so happy that he actually touched on them. And he actually has information. He has knowledge, man. He's rich. So he explained, how long is the political task team supposed to last? When do you decide, now it's done? Yeah, understand? When do you decide, now you've done your job, we can end it? Yeah, but which is, he says, you cannot end without fulfilling the original purpose as to why it was formed. Yeah, so he was also explaining, what is the process of disbanding the political task team? You don't just disband it. There's a process, which is what we've been asking. Is there a process as to when to disband the political task team? So yeah, like I'm so happy with him, and I feel like he's so clear.
Not sitting in the period after December 2023 is that everyone was out preparing for elections. Now, has the end of the 6th term marked the end of the Interministerial Committee?
No, hasn't.
So, even though the 6th administration ended, the
was called and put there by the president in May 2018, which is the tail end of the 5th administration. And the president puts ministries there, not ministers. This was not an inter-ministers committee, it was inter-ministerial committee, which means ministries that come there. And the ministries have incumbents. The first meeting that met there was Cele for police, Masuta for justice, Tuba Letsatsi for intelligence, and Mapisa Ngagula for defense. So as we go for election, this committee meets. Who meets? Is Cele, Lamula, and Kodwa, because there was no minister of intelligence at the time, it was Kodwa, deputy in the president. And Mapisa was still there, but later Motise comes. So those people are there. So there is a precedent. And there was no new announcement by the president to say, "Nyakubeka njalo." So we continued until this September, and indeed, I agree with you that after September they would be busy. But also, there was then one activity of the committee when the president instruct them to or approach them, especially with that one, with the Minister of Higher Education now, with the problems that was happening problems happening at Forte. I can take you through when there was time, what was happening there, but huge, 173 million of that university was misused by that process. And these police, they stopped the misuse of 173 million, that PKTT. And then when they briefed, so one felt that it would be good if they briefed the president. I think they briefed the president on the 7th of March, 2024, almost 2 or 3 months now before election. It was still there. President quite impressed with them. I even joked to say they need some award to the way they were doing things. I hope that's not a problem of the award later when the award changed seats at some place. But it would be known. Maybe not cutting deep and cutting there. Mine will be simple. Call the interministerial committee. If you believe there is no interministerial committee, go to the committee that is related to the JCPS cluster, and you are a co-chair with Justice. If you don't believe that that's correct, go to the president to give you the way. I hear that after the letter, the president was briefed 2 months after. That is not consultation. You should tell the president that I've done, you can see what to do.
He's so clear. He's so clear. He also spoke. There was an article where General Ndlela Mkhwanazi stole a Rolex watch from Vusiket Matala. So Cele touched on that as well. That was a lie. Keti said his watch was not stolen. Yeah, well, now it also speaks to our media again. Yeah, well, because I think News 24 wrote that article where they were writing ukuthi General Mkhwanazi stole the watch of Ket Matlala. So it speaks to our media. They are just pushing it. Sorry, not News 24. I'm so sorry. Sunday World wrote that article. Sunday World wrote that article, not News 24. I take that back. So it does speak to our media. It does speak to our media. They are not always reporting. Most of the time, they don't report what's right. They are just pushing their own agenda and their own narrative. Yeah, but they are also used to push certain narratives. So I think let me end here for now. I am going to do a part 2 video where I want to speak about 2 sources from the PA and what part of what Bheki Cele said today, because I think that's very important as well. For now, this is what I have to say. So it's been a very, very good day, eventful day. I think Bheki Cele gave us a different perspective. He took us from 0.0 to at least 0.5. I feel like he gave us some direction, and I love that. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. If you don't know who I am, my name is Zizipolo Pelwane. Please subscribe to this channel. Let's take this channel to 40K subscribers. Again, this is just my view from watching. Yeah, but if you think I'm wrong, let's meet in the comment section. Anyway, aluta continua until the next time. Let's meet in the comment section, guys, because wow.